Hi, I'm Norm Campo. I'm with Performance Metal Shaping. This month's installment, we're going to be talking about planishing machines. In my shop, it's probably one of my most favorite tools to use. The machine on my right here is manufactured by Mittler Brothers. The machine on my left is manufactured by Mittler Brothers. The one on my right was the original prototype that was built by Mittler Brothers. It's sort of near and dear to my heart because I am actually the person that designed this. Mittler Brothers has made several improvements to it. Basically, it's this machine that's on the left. We're also going to show you a different style machine, and that type of machine is one that you see at some of these bargain basement type importers. And I'm going to show you what makes one better than the other, and you can decide for yourself. This first machine here, manufactured by Mittler Brothers, has a hammer that hits at 4,500 blows a minute. And up here, it's adjustable for hammer wise. I can make it slow or I can make it fast. It has a lot of hits. It hits at 1 1/8 inch stroke at 4,500 blows a minute. The next thing that's nice with this machine, it has a nice little foot pedal down here. It has a nice foot pedal, and the foot pedal basically allows me to work where I want to work. I can work here real close, I can bring this thing way out, and I can work way over here on the machine if I have to, if I got a larger piece. So I can bring this thing right to my work. The next thing with this machine is it's micro adjustable, okay? Being micro adjustable is I can make my adjustments while I'm working on my piece right here. If I get into a spot that's a little hard or it's getting a little tight, I just keep on going. I just back it off a little bit. If I find it's too loose, I just turn a little bit. It also has a nice little locking biscuit in the back, and I can lock this thing in tight, so if I'm working on this thing, and I can just turn it and lock it in, and this thing's not going to move on me, okay? This machine also comes with 9 sets of dies, okay? It comes in dies from 3/4 inch radius to a dead flat radius, or number 12 radius to a dead flat. You may say, what's the difference? Okay, this one right here is 1.5 inch radius, okay? If you look at it, basically it's the radius of 1.5 inch circle, all right? That's how that one works. The next die is a 12 inch die, 12 inch radius die, just to show you the differences, okay? There's how that is, okay? It's got a lot lower crown for finished work, low crown panels. And then we got like one in between, which is a 4 inch radius. And a 4 inch radius looks something like this. It's basically the radius of a 4 inch circle, okay? For a little bit higher crown, okay? This is the advantage that this machine has, okay? Let's go over to this machine over here, okay? This machine over here is actually an American-made machine. It's a good quality machine, but it lacks a little bit in engineering. A couple of the things that this one has that this one doesn't have. This one comes with 4 dies, a dead flat, a medium, and a high crown. So now we get into the Goldilocks with the 3 bears. Too hot, too cold, close enough. Too soft, too hard, close enough. That's what happens. The other problem that they have is this is a proprietary size right here. They machined this to whatever size they wanted to. The shank size on this is a standard Chicago pneumatic die. You can buy these from military surplus. You can buy these from aircraft manufacturers. There's also all sorts of different style dies, like linear stretch dies. So if you want to get a variety of dies that Mittler Brothers doesn't offer, there are other manufacturers, there are other companies, there is a lot of stuff that's out there antique and old, and there's also aircraft surplus that you can buy and not have to spend a ton of money, okay? But Mittler Brothers gives you a real good assortment, okay? The other thing I don't like with this machine, in my opinion, is on this machine over here, as I said, we're micro adjustable. I can adjust this thing up, I can adjust this thing down, and I can do it real easy. The problem I found with this machine is that if I'm working a panel in here, and I find that the panel is too tight or too loose, I have to stop what I'm doing, loosen it and say, oh, okay, we're close. Okay, that's all right. Then I'm working my panel in here. Then all of a sudden, oops, I'm too tight. I have to stop, do the same thing all over again. The other thing that I find with this machine is that after a while, being hammering on it, it will open itself up a little bit. So you're forever back and forth and back and forth. Where I'm working on this machine over here, I'm working, and all I do is I reach over and I just smooth it out, okay? I'll show you both machines afterwards. The other thing is, this machine over here uses an air chisel. This is a tool that you can buy for $19, okay? This manufacturer did a nice job in the fact that he did turn this down to cut some weight. The cheaper ones that you see out there, the imports ones, use nothing more than a rivet head, okay? This thing hits, it's got a lot of mass to it, okay? And it's like trying to drive a nail, a finished nail, with a framing hammer. It just doesn't work. You can't put the brakes on. You cannot control the force. The other thing with this is a 2.5-inch stroke. A 2.5-inch stroke, it's got a lot more hits and it's got 2,500 blows, okay? Basically, the easiest way to describe it is, this machine is this tool right here. It's a big hammer, it hits on a dolly, and when you're trying to pound on a piece of metal, what happens is, you can't put the brakes on, you can't do the finish work. It'll move metal, but it doesn't do a real good job finishing. This machine here is basically this hammer here. It's basically the body hammer. This is for finesse. This is for the fine finishing. This is for the detailing. You can get the same production out of this machine because this thing hits twice as much when you crank it all the way up as the other one does. So it hits twice as many times in a minute, therefore moving the metal. Just to cover one more time. Basically, this is great for moving metal. This is the tool you want to use for finished metal. This is the tool you want to use for finished metal, and you can use it to move metal. Now, I'll show you real quick how it works, okay? What you want to do in this machine is you want to use a die that matches the contour of your panel, okay? This is what you're going to use. What we're going to do is, and I'm going to do this quick, do this lack of time, we will have another video on the finer points of the machine. What we do is we take this thing and we lock it in. Lock our die in nice and tight. You don't have to go real hard, work your way up. Basically what I'm going to do is, this metal was actually pounded in a sandbag prior, okay? I'm going to leave myself a little bit of space here, and we'll get into, like I said, the next video we'll get into more detail. I'm going to leave myself a little bit of space, okay? And we're going to work this out, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to end this video right now at this point, and we're going to come back and we'll move into the next step on it.